Hey, my fellow Americans, how you doing today? Sorry about any noise. My dog is playing. He's having his morning playtime because Daddy's home. So, but this message needs to go to woke, specifically woke people. I want you to understand that much of your actions over the last few years, especially since Biden took office, your behavior towards your fellow man who you are screaming is a bigot because you're offended that they didn't know your pronouns. Well, I got a noun for you. Wacko. This is puberty blockers and what they've done to you. They have just I was put on hormone treatments when I was 17. Why? They said my hormones were out of whack, and so I was having mental issues. And if you took puberty blockers, you're way out of whack, more than I ever was. And it did help me, but I was only on it for a short time. Once my hormones were stabilized, I no longer needed the medication. My body was doing what it was supposed to. So, but your actions supporting Kamala Harris going around the country, trying to disarm American citizens, trying to make our children government property, that one really got me. Changing our laws against criminals. You had to know you poke the head of the snake and now it's going to bite you. And you're just now got bit. Because the reality of why Kamala Harris is not president is because of you. You going into our school board meetings, encouraging our school board leaders to allow pornography into our schools, to force an illegal drug, if you ask me, to destabilize and sterilize. That's all that drug was designed for. And it was designed for predators. So now you convince the government, all you predators, convince the government that they should poison our kids with it because it was done to you. Well, they didn't do a good enough job of it when they did it to you, is my conclusion. Because if they did it to you, most likely it was because there were children involved. Now, I got a brother who's in life. He's in prison he'll never see daylight outside prison again. His sentence in total for one act with a child got him 5,000 years in prison. And I have to tell you, his life has not been sweet and wonderful. Of course, he has all the sex he wants because there are plenty willing to take it from him. But that's the reality. When you're in prison for doing that to a child, what you did to that child, by taking away that child's power, that child's right to say, no, don't do that, it hurts, or I don't like it. That's your karma when you go to prison. And it should be your karma. Sorry. My brother's been in there close to 2 decades. And even if there was a way for me to get him out, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even try. I used to stand up for my big brother, and I would not try it now. Because right now, he is where kids are the safest from him. And I can attest. So, no, he belongs where he's at. And when you were coming out thinking by changing how you look that it was going to get you more heard, get your feelings more accepted, Listen, I get booty hurt a lot. Sorry, I'm playing tug of war with my dog while I talk. See, it's his favorite toys, jugs. Who knew? Anyway, it was the things that you were doing and had been pushing in our laws to allow you to do that you knew were illegal crimes. But you got our attorney generals to turn a blind eye. Hmm. Yeah, they belong in prison with you, and they should be declared sexual offenders of children. To bring my brother here, I have to put a sign out at the front of my property that says pedophile lives here. I'm not doing that. He did that. He is suffering the consequence of that. I'm not going to destroy my life just to have him get out of prison. No, he's where he belongs. I love my brother. I write my brother several times a week, usually. And we text back and forth. Well, email. So, but he's where he belongs. That's why I have not challenged his excessive sentence. I just had to remind him, when you die, you no longer have to stay in prison, right, Johnny? I mean, come on. But, now I adore his transgender girlfriend. And we all know what that means. Okay, and she is not in the women's prison. She's in a section that is for transgenders in the prison. But she's going through the process, not just the hormones. She's not just claiming it. And after a few communications back and forth, she understood I had no problem with that. She's a grown woman. Yeah, she made some bad choices and she's in prison for life. But my brother loves her with all his heart. And I've never seen my brother do that. So why would I think negatively of her? Now, just because this, I think, is a woman to me, even though she's in prison, doesn't mean I think she should be released from the consequence of her crimes. Do I think I should have to pay for her to go through transition? No, I don't. I think that should be a luxury. Because I'm telling you right now, the average person is not going to pay those kind of money unless it comes out of the government's pocket. And it is on my dime. When it comes out of the government's pocket, you're reaching into mine. And if you put your hand in my purse, I'm going to break a few fingers. Sorry. That is the American way. Why? Because we live in a time and in a country where there are so many people who just want to hurt and cause grief and hardship for other people. They are so miserable in themselves. Instead of backtracking and trying to fix who they are, they come out pretending to be something else. Woke, you destroyed any chance of Kamala Harris becoming president because your actions revealed to the rest of us what all she had been doing as vice president and as what she had done during her time as the attorney general in California. And, in doing more research on her, I learned so much. You know why we never saw her during Biden's presidency until the end when she had no choice? Because she was going around to different states helping Democrats, her cronies, change laws to make certain crimes against Americans legal, to make sure that Americans are convicted of crimes, have their property and goods for closed on taken from them, forfeiture. Check your state on forfeiture. because it was Miss Kamala Harris going to these governors and then to these lower level mayors and so forth, changing the laws, go against Americans. Right now, our farmers can't water, they can't sell their goods. They're all in some kind of civil court, and almost all their tractors are shut down by John Deere. No, you tried to work on this. That's against, I don't care if you paid for it and you think it's yours, it's mine, is what John Deere is telling our farmers. That's why John Deere is right now in the spotlight with President Trump. They're trying to cripple our ability to feed our country while bringing in millions more. No, 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 this cannot happen. My country is not going to become Guatemala. My country is not going to become Brazil or any other country. It is American. And when you come here, you're here. And if you are a woke American, you are anti-American. Now that I have a problem with. If you're anti-American, what in the hell are you doing in my country? Are you a lowlife getting that money from me and my government? That's all it is to you? Paycheck? My life is worth more than your fucking paycheck. Excuse my language. But you supporting those changes in our local governments to override regular American citizens who, and I say regular because you tell us we don't have an identity at all. So we don't count. Only you do. I never said that to anybody in a school council meeting. I don't care how they looked when they got up there, as long as they talked about the issues and were caring about resolving them, not exasperating and making them worse. And that's all woke people have done for the last, I don't know, 10 years, as far back as I could find. So woke broke Kamala Harris's campaign. It demolished Kamala Harris's campaign. And Americans, right now, we know, we recognize, just because we have a new president, our job isn't done. We recognize it. And guess what? We're taking our country back. You can go woke and go broke and live homelessly on the street, pennilessly, without any help from the government because you don't have an address. Because just a few years ago, you had to have an address, a physical address, to apply for food stamps, to apply for checks. I worked 35, almost actually 40 years of my life paying into the system. And I don't qualify for any of that. And I have zero income. Why? Woke people. You're not woke. You're delusional. And enough Americans have realized that finally. And finally, college campus kids are able to speak out against woke in their safe places that nobody else can come into. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to shut down for now. America, our fight isn't over. It's just begun. American Granny out.